5, 4, 3, 2. Welcome, everyone. If you're out there, let me know you're out there. I can't see anyone in the chat yet. Oh, yes, hang on. Paul Bishop. I can see we have our first viewer. That's great. We'll start in a second, but I just want to check that you can hear us and see us before I get going in earnest. So if you're out there, let me know you're out there. Okay, well, while I'm waiting for the word, I'll introduce my guest. So welcome to Alex Colovic. Hi, Alex. How are you doing?
Hi, Daniel. I'm good. Yeah, thanks.
Excellent.
Yeah,
Oh,
good to be here.
yeah, great. And I can see we've got a few people checking in already. So we have Beloglavi Sop, Peter Bodzioni, Ivan Stanislavljevic. Oh, there we go.
Nice.
Everyone's working. So for Alex, let me just give you a quick intro. So for those that don't know Alex, he's a grandmaster from Macedonia or North Macedonia. And you're in Skopje at the moment. Yeah.
Yes, correct. That's correct.
And we're looking at Alex's book, which is, hang on, tell us the name of the book, because I haven't got it in front of me, Alex.
Yeah, it's Capablanca's Endgame technique, and it's kind of an, I would say, slightly improved version of the Chessable course, because I did some reworking on the text and some variations. So that's basically the book is a result of the course, which I did several years ago for
Oh,
Chessable.
okay. So the book, Capablanca, is his Endgame technique, is published by New in Chess. And of
Yeah.
course, there's the Chessable course as well. And I should mention that Alex, for those our viewers, I can see people coming in. Oh, Andy Smith, nice to see you, Andy, on the chat. Alex has done several courses, or many courses for Chessable. How many courses have you done now, Alex?
That's a good question because I'm never sure of the answer because it's somewhere. The last time I counted, there were 18, I think.
Whoa!
Yeah, but then there are also some that were translated into other languages. For example, Capablanca is actually I recorded in Spanish as well.
Okay.
And then there are also some another one I think in Spanish, and then there was one in German also just recently translated from English. So I don't really know honestly, you know.
Okay. Loads of courses.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So and hang on, how many is this your first book? Or
Actually, no. I mean, first for New in Chess, but actually, I have another book which was published a couple of years ago. That one was, well, now the name escapes me. That was like, yeah. It was analysis of in Botvinnik style of the styles and characteristics of America's talents, latest talents, born in the 21st century, basically.
oh,
So
interesting.
so that was done a few years ago, and okay, I mean this is my second book basically. Yeah.
Great. Anyway, the subject today is Capablanca's endgame technique, and while we're waiting for people to arrive in the chat, so let me ask you first, Alex, what brought you first to Capablanca? I mean, of course, there are so many legendary names in chess history. So why Capablanca? Why his endgame technique?
I mean, yeah, this is it obviously it's a personal story as because I had kind of had to feel this personal connection to do the course and then write the book. I mean, I had this crisis, playing crisis as a chess professional in 2004 and a bit earlier maybe. And I was struggling, like my results went down and like my rating and so forth. And I recognized that I needed more clarity in my game. And then I took a longer break from playing, some 3 months, and I just decided, okay, which player has this clarity, okay? So of course, Capablanca. And what I did, I remember it clearly. It was the winter of 2004, 2005, and I collected all the books I had on Capablanca or books that contained his games, and I surrounded myself physically with the books. Okay, I set up my chessboard. Okay, small magnetic set, and I just start going over his games. Games from the books he wrote, books written about him, and like pretty much everything I had. So I was simply going over the games. And what I started realizing after a while of doing this is that kind of I started feeling I started absorbing this clarity that I could recognize in the games. And what made it special for me is that this clarity, I could see it in his games more easily than in the games of other great players. I don't know if it's something about his style or something, but after going over the games and after a while, you start seeing this and say, okay, this is easy. I can play like this. I mean, this is like, yeah, what's so difficult here? And the best part is that after doing this for 3 months, I remember I was doing this for 3 months every single day. I went to play my first tournament. It was an open tournament in Malaga, and I won it, and I made my second GM norm.
There we go. The spirit of Kappa.
There you go. Exactly.
You were channeling.
Exactly.
That's fantastic.
Exactly. So this is the story. I mean, this is like why Capablanca for me.
Yeah, that's interesting. When you mentioned Capablanca's books, I'm going to show you this. Do you recognize this book? Do you recognize the signature?
Capablanca, yeah.
Capablanca, yeah.
Yes.
So this book, very special book actually. This
Which one is it?
My Chess Career by Capablanca.
Oh, excellent.
And it's the first edition.
Wow.
Published in 1920. It's a beautiful book. I love these little...
Wow.
The corners are kind of rounded off.
Where did you get it?
Someone gave it to me. A very kind present. It's a first edition. And
amazing.
if you see here,
yeah,
nice photo of Kappa.
Yeah.
It's very generously typeset. It's really nice.
Descriptive notation, right?
Of course, descriptive.
Yeah.
Published in New York, I think. No?
Yeah. Probably.
Let me see. No. New York.
New York.
London and New York, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's very precious.
Yeah, amazing. Yeah, that's just such a great thing to have. I mean,
and I love it because, I mean, I don't know if people can see it on the stream, but it's gold embossed signature of Capablanca.
Yes,
of course, it's not the real signature, but, well, it was... It's his autograph, but in gold. It's a wonderful book. Actually.
Yeah. Wow. That's first time I see actually this thing.
No, it's
an original book basically.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic. So actually, which books of Capablanca did inspired you when you were playing through his games?
All of them, really. I mean, I have all of them written by him.
Right.
Like Primer of Chess, Chess Fundamentals, My Chess Career, Last Chess Lessons. I think that's it, more or less.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah. And then I had like all Alekhin's books on the tournaments where Capablanca played. Okay. So like the match when he's analyzing the match, and then Nottingham, and then there was a New York 24, New York 27. Then I had... what else did I have? Okay, Kasparov's book also. And then probably the most exquisite one, okay, which I have it in Russian, and it's by Max Ewe and Ludovic Prince.
Yeah.
And I have it in Russian, and it's never been, to my knowledge, it's never been translated to English. And it's like in Russian, the name goes something like Fortune's Favorite or something like this. It was translated. And I spoke to Dirk Jan actually from Chess, and he told me how it was. Of course it was in Dutch that he knew the book about. It was originally in Dutch. He told me like how it was. He translated it in English, but it was I'm not sure what he said. But anyway, that book was really interesting because at some points they make some really vague comments, but psychologically kind of very insightful. And I would comment to a move, and then I would just stop for 10-15 minutes just thinking like how to connect what they're saying with the position on the board and the move he made and what they were saying that he may have been feeling, what he was trying to do, and like trying to understand, to get inside his mind. And that was the essence of my work actually, why I think it just made a made me, I mean, I achieved this qualitative jump in the level of my play and understanding, because I kind of, at some point, to some extent, I managed to get inside his head, try to understand this decision-making algorithm that he was so famous for. Yeah, this intuition, this all, like, how he was seeing chess.
Yeah, I have to
So,
say I have a particular interest in chess history from the 1920s and 1930s. I brought out this book on Sultan Khan.
yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
so, I was looking at this period, and of course Capablanca and Alekhine. And there's this famous quote from an English player who said, in Alekhine, with Alekhine's game, when I play against Alekhine, suddenly he produces a move out of the blue, and I haven't got a clue, and I just lose, and I just don't know what happened. With Capablanca, I can see exactly what he's going to do, but
And
I
still
have
lose.
no idea what to do about it.
Yeah,
I
exactly,
think
exactly.
it might have been, well, it was one of the English players from the 1920s and 1930s anyway.
Yeah, okay. There were quite a few of them.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. So, but it's a quote that it's always stuck with me, and I think it's a beautiful description,
yeah, yeah,
or as a
absolutely.
summary of both players' styles.
In fact, this quote about Capablanca reminds me of, I think it was Taimanov when he was talking about Fischer, and he was, or maybe it was somebody else. Okay, I'm not sure, but it was about Fischer, and he says, like, I can see all his moves,
Yeah,
okay, and I can do nothing about it.
yeah, exactly.
And just, and you lose,
And
okay.
indeed, Fisher had that same clarity. Now, listen, we've got lots of people on the chat here
Ah,
who
nice.
are saying, yeah, hello, and they're interested. And we have a Chess Shastra says Happy Diwali from Bharat.
Yeah, happy
So
Diwali. Yeah,
Happy Diwali.
that
That's
too.
that's really nice.
Yes.
And we've got lots of people commenting. Yeah, Karpov's endgames they like.
Oh yeah,
Other
Karpov
people
also. Yeah.
saying Yusupov, they like his chess lessons. So anyway, it's really nice to see everyone on the chat, and
Yeah.
we need to look at some chess, of course.
Oh yeah.
So let's start with this game that
Uh-huh.
you've selected. So we have
Yeah.
Capablanca playing white against Reshevsky, and now this is from the of course the famous Nottingham tournament from
Yeah.
1936, which was well, I mean it was an extraordinary event. So it had Botvinnik, Capablanca, Alyekhin,
Aljechin. Yes. Yes.
Lasker,
Yes. Yes.
Ovo was playing. I mean, it was an unbelievable tournament.
Yes.
If you're talking about a super tournament,
That
and
was
it
it.
really was, that was it.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah. Yeah.
incredible. I've got the book on my bookshelf somewhere over there.
Yeah. His book. Yeah, I have it too. Yeah.
Yeah. So talk us through this game. What attracted you to this particular endgame?
Well, this one, okay. This one is. I try to choose. I mean, examples that are not featured in the book or in the course, and this one doesn't feature, but it features in Shereshevsky's book, Endgame.
Oh yeah,
Endgame
I know the one you
strategy.
mean. I can't remember the name, but yeah, it's a good book.
Endgame strategy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, it was like presented as a like an good example how to play against an isolated queen's pawn, and it's an illustration of Capablanca's technique. But what actually drew me to this game is that first we have like the best of Capablanca style and play, like, and then we have the worst. Or the worst. I mean, if we can talk about the worst, I mean, then we see him missing the win
Yeah.
in a situation where he often missed wins. Okay, and we'll get there. I mean, a
Yeah,
bit
we'll play
later.
through some
Okay.
moves about but that's a very interesting introduction because I know what you mean, and we'll talk about why that happens. First of all, what I want to do is just explain a little something about this position. So, I mean, this is your classic isolated queen's pawn in the middle of the board with
Yeah.
the really bad bishop blocking it, and you know when I look at this beautiful knight, and I think
Yeah.
9 times out of 10, well, okay, frankly, 10 times out of 10, I should be winning this position with white.
Yeah.
All we need to do is march the king in. There are these really weak dark
Yeah.
squares, and I just know either the king or the knight is going to hop in. And to my eyes, this looks like it's just a completely winning position for white. However, and indeed, Kappa started with the obvious move, King E2. But this, I mean, I've seen your notes here. I think
Yeah.
it's a really instructive moment in the game. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hand this one over to the chat.
Yeah.
In fact, ladies and gentlemen, black can still hold this position, and it's remarkable because it's such a poor bishop. So if you were playing with black here, how would you play? Can you devise a strategy? And now this is a tough one, but listen, we have great expectations from our viewers, Alex. This is
But don't put too much pressure on them. I mean, you can tell them that Reshevsky failed. I mean, so
well,
I
that's
mean,
true. And Reshevsky was certainly not a bad player.
No, not at all.
And well, Reshevsky was, I would say, the coming man in 1936. You know,
Yeah.
he was. I mean, it was incredible at such a young age that he was playing in the Nottingham tournament.
Yeah.
Okay, we have Omkar Chakradeo suggests King F6 and then maybe D4. We have
All right.
Blake 18 says H5 trade as much as possible. Okay, these are all very interesting thoughts, actually.
Yeah.
Jalil says might make sense to jettison the D5 pawn instead of sitting. Anlam Chaotica says as black I'd probably play D4 here. I mean, these are lots of interesting ideas.
Yeah.
I think the thing about endgames, of course, many endgames, one needs to appreciate strategy, but in the end it's all down to concrete
Exactly.
lines.
Exactly.
Alex, do you want to talk us through this one? First of all, what should
Yeah. So,
black play?
I mean, if we try to conceptualize, I mean, black should decide what to do with the king. And now there are two options here. Okay. One is let's say, centralize it, go to F6, E5, right? Just centralize the king and try to hold the position, perhaps, yeah, with thanks to this space that the king is gaining. And the second option to what to do with the king is actually what Reshevsky did, is to seek immediate counterplay on the king side by trying to execute H5 with the help of King G6. So King G6 and intending H5, and after the exchange of pawns, try to use the king via H4, G3 to create counterplay on the king side. Now it's very hard to decide on like which is the better strategy and so forth. So obviously both players calculated a lot, trying to understand, like, okay, especially black, which one gives him better chances. But the crux of the position, in fact, is that you don't have to choose between centralizing king and creating counterplay on the king side. Actually, you can have both. And that's the correct solution to the question, how should black play?
Okay,
And
well,
this was discovered. Yeah, okay, sure, go ahead.
Let's show it. Let's show it. Okay,
Yeah, this was discovered by Bondarevsky when analyzing the game. So the first centralizing the king f6, king d3, king e5. Yeah. And now, of course, like white is kind of can't centralize the king with king d4 anymore. So now he needs to do something with the knight, right? So the knight goes to d2. Sorry, to c2, yeah. And then the idea is to plant the knight on the fantastic blockading square on d4 and then walk the king to b4, maybe c5, win the pawn on b5. It looks pretty hopeless, yeah? But the knight just left b4 from where it was controlling the c6 square. And this is the exact moment that black uses his bad passive bishop to start that kingside counterplay we mentioned. So bishop c6 just in time before the knight gets to d4. Knight d4, yeah, and now bishop e8. So this is the key maneuver that maybe Reshevsky missed. I mean, who knows, yeah? And then the bishop aids the h5 push. So the king is used in the center to centralize, to prevent white's king from doing the same. And then the bishop is used to start the kingside counterplay.
Okay, so let's see it.
Yeah. So simple line, white continues with the plan king c3, king b4, but h5 just in time. Takes.
Okay, we should say also that white should be a little bit careful about this, so that has to go.
Yeah, must take. And now the bishop is latching onto that pawn on f3, so white doesn't have time for knight b5, bishop f3, yeah? And if the king goes towards the pawn, yeah, then g4, as one of your viewers just mentioned, trying to exchange as many pawns on the king side as possible, yeah? And now after capturing on g4, white temporarily wins the pawn. Okay, king b5, but after king e4, it's a simple draw because black regains the pawn. If knight c2, bishop d1, and it's a draw.
Just
So
in just in
just in
time.
time, just in time.
Okay, it's basically one tempo, isn't it? I mean, this is incredible. It's
Yeah.
and it's just because this pawn is on a white square.
Exactly.
I mean, it's an incredible defense. Actually, it's
Yeah.
you know, as I said, it's hard to actually conceive
Yeah.
when you see this position, which, you know, to our eyes looks so positionally won, that black can actually hold this. But what's interesting is that actually Reshevsky played king g6 and h5, and actually this looks plausible to me as well,
Yeah.
because the king is going to find counterplay. So let's just see what happened in the game.
Yeah, and here, I mean, obviously, the line that draws is so hard. I mean, like literally being saved by one tempo, and it's impossible to. It's not even fair to blame Reshevsky for missing that, yeah, and for going for this, which also looks plausible and pretty sharp. But here, what happens is we have a transformation. I mean, up to here, yeah, it was like strategical, centralization, putting pieces on squares and so forth. But now it's pure calculation. I go here, he goes there. And now we enter a phase where everything is decided by calculation. And especially in modern times when endgames are decided with very little time on the clocks, and all the mistakes are made in this phase. And here we will see, like what I mentioned at the beginning about Capablanca's, let's call it weakness. Yeah.
But it's very interesting because, you know, if you, in a game, if I were playing white, I could imagine that I would be really concerned about this variation because black has immediate counterplay with the king.
Yes.
And once we get to a position like this, then this is very sharp. And I have a lot of respect for a bishop against the knight when there's, you know, a passed pawn to be taken care of as well.
Yes.
However,
mind you, the players didn't know the evaluation while they were playing, so they were like,
sure.
Reshevsky was hoping for this strong counterplay, and Capablanca was hoping he should be able to kind of control it, but they didn't know what's going on.
Yeah. So let's see. So this pawn is pretty fast.
Yeah.
So the bishop came back.
Yeah, hitting the pawn, and if f6, then bishop e6 blockading. Yeah.
Okay, so king e5, and
yeah. So this is also, I would say, a typical decision for, let's say, for Capablanca, who like to kind of play on domination, and this is like a nice dominating move, planting the king on e5, and look at this imposing nature of white's pieces: pawn on f5, king on e5, knight on d5, like dominating the center in the board. Yeah. So. It's a move that I'm pretty sure his intuition told him to make, even though he could have won with e4 as well. He plays e4 in the next move, but he liked to kind of, you know, put his pieces and push up the board.
Yeah. Okay, so in such situations, this is all about calculation, or it should be.
Exactly, yeah. So, and so he could have won also here with f6, but again, if you want to show the line to see how complex it is, because it's okay. So now the king should go to e6 and e7, and it's pure calculation. Like who's promoting, what's happening? Will the black queen manage to pick up the pawns?
Well, we should
the extra knight.
Yeah, I mean, we should mention that in this position, if g3. Now, we could take... No.
Yeah.
I guess we play knight f4, no?
No, but we can take an f7, f8 with check, yeah?
And... Okay, that's... Okay, so we have to be... Yeah. Okay, we're confident in that one. So, all right, so bishop h5.
Yeah. Now knight f4. And now the point is that, okay, there is time to take that bishop and promote... And again,
it's with check.
Yes, with check, and white wins because he's an extra piece, and he has that pawn on b3 alive. So not easy to calculate. Yeah, I mean, still. Yeah.
That's okay, but he played e4 instead.
Yeah, he played e4. Yeah.
Okay, and now bishop e8.
Yeah, and now we come to this second characteristic moment that I mentioned at the beginning, and it's like when he makes a mistake. And normally when analyzing Capablanca's games, this was the situation when he was making most of his mistakes. when he was missing wins. It was always something calculational, okay, where precise, exact calculation was necessary to wrap up the game. But it's hard to say whether it was part of character, part of maybe age, okay, by that time. Yeah, maybe a bit laziness or just relaxing too often. I mean, many factors that affect all of us, to be honest. Yeah, that he misses a win, and he makes a move like, again, looks like an automatic handmade move, like king d4, freeing the path for both pawns to march forward and so forth. But it's, again, it's not a situation where you can make a move based on just how it looks. Yeah, you can do this in positional play. It looks good, you don't blunder anything, you can make the move, it's a good move for sure. But here it's already more binary, either it wins or not. And to establish that, you need to calculate precisely. And if you fail to calculate precisely, you'll just miss a lot of wins.
Okay, well,
And
should
this,
we let's throw this out to our viewers.
yeah.
Okay, but listen, I'm going to be really harsh here. Now, everyone on the chat, I don't want just one move. I'm looking for a variation. You have to
Yeah.
justify it. That's going to throw them.
Yeah. They'll start their engines now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. No, I think this situation is quite, I think, instructive and important for us as well in modern times, because we play these endgames. Okay, it's move 50. I mean, how much time do you expect to have by move 50 with the modern time controls? It's always seconds, yeah, always increment time.
The secret of good technique is good calculation. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
As you say, it's binary. It either works or it doesn't.
Yeah.
Okay, clearly we've completely stumped everybody. Because we're not getting any suggestions at all. So let's show exactly what happened in the game, which was king d4.
Yeah, king d4, and now it should be a draw. So forcing moves. Okay,
what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the end.
Yes. And here black misses the saving idea.
Okay, but this is what happened in the game.
Yeah.
And
yeah, it's over. Knight comes to d5, c7, e7, e8, wins a piece.
Yeah. Okay, so that was the end. However, in this position, okay, now this is something that...
Yeah, this is also very hard.
Yeah.
So you can't blame the players again.
No. I mean, this, to be honest, when I was looking at this earlier, I was thinking, really?
Yeah.
And this is, I mean, I think it's very understandable that this was overlooked by both players.
Yeah.
Because this is an extraordinary draw, but it shows you the power of bishops as well.
Yeah, and in this very nice concept, which I first learned in some Russian literature, I think the good translation in English is latching onto.
Okay.
So you see, it goes bishop f7, forcing e6, but only in order to be able to latch onto that pawn on e6 by dropping back to g8. And by latching onto the pawn on e6, he's preventing f6.
Yeah.
And if a7, the bishop comes back and blockades the pawns.
And incredibly,
it's a very, very interesting concept.
Because the knight is tied to
exactly
preventing the g-pawn advancing, and the king is tied to defending the knight. It's extraordinary. It's almost sort of like an optical illusion, but actually white cannot make progress. I think it's really interesting. So yeah, I mean, we can throw in another move, but basically
just marks that
you just wait
time.
And there's nothing happening. It's incredible. Actually bishop g6 is an interesting move. Does that put white in Zugzwang? Some kind of Zugzwang, actually.
b4, yeah.
b4. Okay, I'll keep waiting. I'll lose a move.
Yeah.
It's interesting. So, something like this. I don't know.
It's really funny.
Who's better and why?
Yeah, who's better and why, yeah?
Seriously. There must be a way to draw, but I mean,
it's becoming an
this
issue.
Is incredible.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'll leave somebody else to
figure this out.
Yeah, figure that one out. But yeah, seriously, I mean, maybe black is better now. Not so stupid. Yeah. Okay, so coming back here, we should say that. Let me go back to. So here's where Kappa missed f6.
But again, notice how difficult it is to the win. I mean, look at the line, yeah?
Yeah, absolutely. So the trick was to come here and
And then the pawn should roll. And now, again, you have to calculate that actually you can allow black to promote with a check, but after king f6, your own promotion is secured. And then you have to see that there are no checks losing that pawn on b3.
yeah.
So, far from easy, yeah?
Absolutely. I mean, really, really difficult position, actually.
Yeah,
It's incredible. Yeah, and the knight covers d5, so no check there. Not easy at all, but yeah, I think it's a really instructive position because it shows actually, as Gufeld used to say, you know, even the worst bishop is better than the best knight. This
Exactly,
was
exactly,
Goofy's thing. It's incredible.
Exactly.
Even this really poor piece, actually, we've seen in this endgame that there is still hope there. It's quite incredible.
Yeah.
Extraordinary.
Yeah.
So, okay, let's move on to the next position. So we have, okay, this is something completely different. I'm going to flip the board round. So Kappa has just played rook g4, attacking the queen.
Yeah.
Which moved to h7.
Yep.
Now, let's throw this one out to our viewers.
Yeah, this is a beautiful combination. I think it's pretty famous, but okay.
But I should say, okay, this is not an endgame. So we're nothing like this included in the course or the book.
No.
This
was just some things that left impression on me based on Capablanca. I mean,
yeah, okay,
yeah,
that's good.
some nice positions to solve for the audience.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, I think the thing about Kappa is that, you know, when you look at all these photographs from the 1920s and 1930s, you know, he was such a smooth character. He was urbane. He always dressed well. Of course, he had a reputation.
Yes.
As a he liked the ladies, as they say.
Yes.
And you know, it brings back a certain era and a certain style, and somehow that's translated onto the chessboard as well. I think that's personally why I find, you know, Capablanca such an attractive character, actually. And
the combination of I agree. The combination of the charisma, the playing style, the practical successes, like you put all these together, okay, and then personal like appearance and everything, it just made him a unique combination.
Yeah, he had true star quality.
Exactly, superstar. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, definitely. I remember when I was, you know, doing my research for the Sultan Khan book. I remember he was famous for doing these simultaneous exhibitions.
Yeah.
I mean, he was prolific actually, and he came to London and he was I can't remember which one it was, but he did, I think, 3 or 4 simultaneous exhibitions over a week in one of the big department stores in the centre of London. One of the exhibitions was women only.
Oh.
And I think he played 30 or 40 women. And that was the stipulation. He said, okay, we're only going to have women for this one particular day. And I think there were 40 women, and he beat them all.
No mercy at the chessboard.
No mercy. But I love that, you know, it was just a women only one. You know, that said something about the guy.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there have been some wild stories. I mean, I'm not sure how appropriate.
There's the famous one. Yeah. Well, I think. Well, you tell the story and I'll tell my version.
Okay. I mean, I don't know which one you're thinking about, but okay, this one is actually, it was told by the person who kind of caught him in the act. It was during one of the Moscow tournaments, and Capablanca was scheduled for an appointment. I don't know what exactly it was, but he was late. And then they were waiting for him, and okay, he wasn't coming, so people got worried, and they sent this, at that time, a kid up to his room to kind of inquire what's going on. And the kid enters the room and sees Capablanca in the company of 2 nice Russian ladies. So that's one.
Well,
Yeah.
well, okay. I'll tell you the version I heard. Well,
Ah,
it,
okay.
it was told to be by Andre Lilienthal,
And Lilienthal, okay, he should have known better. Yeah.
who I think was he. Well, I chatted with him. It was in Berlin. He was in his 90s already,
Yeah. Yeah.
and Lilienthal was really good friends with Capablanca,
Yeah.
and he said, "Yeah, we used to go to these nightclubs in Moscow together."
Nice.
And he told the same story,
Oh,
that it was like
nice.
the waiter bringing up a morning cup of tea,
Uh-huh.
and when he saw the women in bed, the tray with
Ah,
the tea went everywhere. So
yeah.
you can take whatever version of the story you
Yeah.
want,
The
but
essence is the same. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. So yeah, and as Lilienthal said, simultan. For he played a simultan.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's the original meaning of the word, right?
yeah, exactly. Incredible. So yeah, the guy
Yeah.
he had a lure. So
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. Yeah.
anyway, listen, we should look at this position. So what's the
Yeah.
story here? Black to play. I don't think anyone has got the solution yet. Oh no,
Okay.
no, we have someone who suggested knight f6.
Okay. Blundering a piece, right?
Okay, blundering a piece. Queen h8. And now what's the move, everyone?
Okay. 98. You don't blunder a piece.
Okay, but we should say 98 is not the move, folks. So what's the move now? So the king is in check. What should black play now?
It's a very pretty combination. I mean, it's like
I'm
maybe
just
even a bit unexpected. Yeah.
yeah. Rook d8 says Jalil. Well done. Rook
But
d8
then what?
played.
Then what?
Queen.
Justification, please. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. We need a variation.
Yeah.
Beloglavi has it as well. Jalil and Beloglavi had Rook d8. And yeah, well done, Saka. Well done, Jalil. Rook dg8. Very nice indeed. So
Yeah.
what happens, guys, if queen takes queen? Jalil is coming clean. He says he knows the game.
Ah, he knows the game. Yeah, good.
But well done. You remembered the game. It's not enough to know it, but you remembered it too. So that's okay.
Yeah, that's important. That's even more important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's the next move? Joshua Pym says bishop d5. I'm afraid bishop d5 won't cut the mustard.
Nope.
I think
Not
I'd probably
exactly.
just play rook f2 in that case.
Yeah.
We need something better than bishop d5. We're waiting. Oh, it's slow out there
Yeah.
in Chatland.
Friday night.
Friday night. Maybe
Yeah.
they've cracked a beer already. I'm
Yeah,
still
there you
drinking
go.
tea.
There
Sumik
you go.
Maji and Flovin Tornugard Ness say rook takes g2 and bishop d5. Well done, guys.
Well done. Well done. Yes,
Bishop
that's it.
d5. Oof. What a combination of pieces. Yeah, you
Yeah.
feel like something terrible is going to happen, but well, okay,
Absolutely.
I can see that that's the threat, and
Yeah.
I guess it's difficult to defend against.
Yeah, and also rook along the second rank. Yeah.
Yeah, that somewhere. Yeah,
Somewhere
that looks
F2 or
pretty
something.
good too. Yeah,
Yeah.
excellent. Yeah, really nice. So in the game, rook f2 was played.
Yeah. Now what?
Now what? Your next question for your bonus, everyone.
Yeah. But this is also, I mean, this says this was a casual game, you know?
Yeah.
And he probably saw this pretty quickly. I mean, these lines, they're not too complicated, they're short, but he probably saw them pretty quickly. I mean,
Well, I mean that he honed his talent playing in New York. You
yep.
know when he well, I seem to remember he enrolled at Columbia University
Yeah.
in New York,
Yes.
But basically, he seemed to spend a lot of his time
Yeah, playing
playing
chess.
chess in New York and playing lots of casual games. And he was a brilliant speed player, you know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, he was 18 at the time of this game.
Yeah, only 18. Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
fantastic. Okay, so Beloglavi Sup says rook takes g2. Yeah, we'll take that
Yep.
one. Well done.
So rook takes, rook loses the queen, and otherwise it's very nice.
Yeah, so that opens up the e file, and
Yeah,
that was checkmate. Yeah, very nice finish.
very nice game. Yeah.
Listen, I know you've supplied lots of other positions, but I wanted to very briefly mention two endgames that I
Yeah, sure.
think are absolutely fantastic, that always stick in my mind when I think of Kappa's endgames. And it's, first of all, it's this one,
Yeah.
Khan against Capablanca, with this particular pawn structure. We'll talk about that in a second. And the other one that I really like, which I think is even more practical, is Capablanca against Yanovsky, which, well, yeah, we start out in this double rook endgame.
Yeah.
And I think
Yeah.
this has incredible practical value.
Yeah.
This is always the one that I show my students, because I think this pawn structure is so common. And I know that you looked at both those endgames
Yes.
in the book and in the course
Yes.
as
Yes.
well.
Yes. Yes.
I don't know if you want to just go through this one very quickly.
Yeah, this one is also kind of pretty instructive because you get the same development, the same scenario. Capablanca playing moves by hand, obtaining a good position, then playing a move that's typical of his understanding of chess, which I've noticed that in his games, like you would never basically find him win a game on one side only. Okay, so here obviously the plan is to advance on the king side, right? But he would never just play on one side only. He would always like kind of expand the front and always try to play on the other side as well.
Alex, I'm going to break in there.
Yeah, sure.
When you said obviously the plan is to play on the king side, you need to explain that.
Yeah, right. So, okay, it's the so-called minority attack, because these two pawns, h3, g2, are attacking these three pawns on the king side. Yeah.
And what's the purpose of the minority attack?
The purpose is that by advancing the two pawns g4, h4, g5, white wants to take on f6 and basically attack that pawn on f6. And in case black takes on g5, then the f file is opened. Yeah, and then white can use it to infiltrate the position and further attack black's pawns on the king side.
And more than that, once we get this exchange, then we have a beautiful passed pawn.
Passed pawn, protected passed pawn in the center. Yeah.
Okay, so coming back to your thoughts, I'm going to play through this one fairly quickly as it's quite a long one. But your thoughts on playing on both sides of the board.
Yes. So, okay, immediately now b6, and immediately now you would say, I mean, most of us would just think about h4, g5, continuing with the plan, but not Capablanca. Okay, he was always very attuned to what the opponent wanted to do. So now the b6 move, even though it may not look like much, is an attempt for black to try to do something on the queen side by c5, by a5, and so forth. So Capablanca had this very well-developed prophylactic thinking, and he was always trying to deal with his opponent's ideas. And here he does that. So he stops both a5 and c5 by playing b4. So it's not a move that would easily come to most of us, but this was typical of his play. Always like taking, care about what the opponent wanted to do. But as we will see a bit later on, this was required precision. And when he, obviously, most of the time he would be precise, but sometimes he would not be. And here we will see a case when he actually misses a thing. Okay, and here, for example, he plays this move a4, which is actually a mistake, because I think after rook d4, is played, rook b1. So a4 was a mistake because it allowed a tactical defense for black, which both players missed. And this was the risk when you play like on both sides, or on the side when you're not maybe superior on, like white on the queen side. So here black had a great chance to kind of solve all problems with the move a5. And the point is that whichever way the captures go, black obtains counterplay. and Capablanca would have failed at what he wanted to do, and he will achieve it in the game thanks to Janowski's inferior play to establish complete domination on the queen side as well before turning his attention back to the king side and advancing and winning the game there.
I think what's interesting about a5, so I should mention, let's just emphasize again, a5 was not played. This is a missed opportunity, but it's a tactical solution that black has, and there's a very narrow window of opportunity. This is just one move.
Yeah, just this one moment. Exactly.
And basically, I think it's very hard for a defender in a game to actually identify and recognize the critical moment. So Janowski played rook e5. Let's go through the game and then we can see.
Yeah, and after this is just one-way street. You can simply king e3 hitting that rook on d4, rook goes back, and a5, game over. Complete domination of the queen side, no counterplay whatsoever, and the rest is just triangulation. So he had this one chance, he missed it, that's it.
So he's managed to eliminate counterplay, because if I go back to this position with b6, so basically black's plan is to play c5, move the king up to c6 and play b5 and c4. And
or a5, a4 also, yeah.
Yeah, which is basically black's minority attack. So it's very understandable what Capablanca was trying to do. Basically, he's trying to kill all counterplay, and he does succeed. And it's that move a5. I think everyone can see that, this is just not going to happen now. Let's just go through the game very quickly, because I think, for me, this is really instructive.
Yeah, now just the minority attack happens, yeah?
So pass pawn and beautiful structure.
Yeah.
No counterplay. The king is in the perfect position to support the pawns.
Yeah. And now I would like just one more. Okay, h4. Okay, just stop a little bit here. Now, I mean, at first you wouldn't think it, okay? But this move, you would say, okay, this is a natural move. Everybody would play, just improving the position a little bit, gaining some space, blah, blah, blah. But in fact, it's a very concrete move, in fact. It's a prophylactic move. And people would I would also struggle. What is this prophylaxis against? And the prophylaxis is against that because black's last move, rook h e6, in fact contained an idea to go rook e5 and push c5 and finally trying to achieve some sort of counterplay. Because when rook e5 you can't go d4 because the pawn on e4 is hanging, right? So he wants to go rook e5 and c5. And by h4, Capablanca is preventing that, because now if rook e5, then rook g5, thanks to the pawn h4. I mean, this kind of depth and combination of prophylaxis with seemingly natural moves was what always amazed me in his play. Yeah. It's a move that you would make okay, I improve the position and so forth, but actually it's very concrete.
Yeah.
And this is just great.
And now after this, basically it's a smooth road for Kappa.
Yeah.
Because again, he's got everything under control. And rook g5, of course, it provokes h6. And now there's another
rook g4 again, prophylactic move against rook e5 because it defends the pawn on e4. So rook e5 again doesn't work because now d4 works. Yeah, and the rook is pushed back. The pawn on e4 is protected.
And
so just fantastic. Yeah,
and g6 is hanging as well. So.
And g6, yeah.
Yeah, and now d4.
Yeah.
And now, even black's king starts to get in trouble.
Yeah, because if he goes to d7, rook a8 drops the pawn on a6.
Yeah. So, okay, let's just zip through to the end.
Yeah. This is just basically strangulation.
Yeah.
And losing a pawn and keeping on. Yeah.
And that's really, the ultimate conclusion of the minority attack, that basically white won the isolated pawn.
Yeah.
And well, black gives up a pawn now, but it's completely hopeless.
Rook a8 and the king hides from the checks and loses another pawn.
So okay, that was the end of the game. Obviously, the pawns are going to roll through, and Janowski resigned. Yeah, for me, it's such an instructive endgame. I think it's just fantastic, and that is covered in detail in your book and the course as well.
Yes, pointing out all these misses that both players committed and
So for those, let me just say that for those just joining the live stream, that Alex's course is available on Chessable, Capablanca's Endgame technique, and there's a book published by New in Chess, which well, you can get it from all good chess stockists and Amazon, and and directly from New in Chess as well. So let's move on to the next position. Let's have something short and sweet again. Let me see. What's this one? This is it's not an endgame.
No, but this is a nice calculational exercise, in fact.
Yeah.
Not too complicated, but still, I mean, requires some sort of effort. Yeah, I mean, some calculation.
Let's ask the chat.
Yeah.
Okay. Kappa to play. White to play. What did he do next? So it looks like a pretty regular kind of position. I wondered, well, did this come from a D-pawn opening?
I'm not sure, to be honest.
Was it a French exchange or something like that?
Some Petrov, no.
Could be a Petrov, yeah.
I'm not sure. Maybe I can check. Okay.
So white to play. Let's ask the chat. What would you do next?
Actually, yeah, it was a Petrov.
Oh, okay.
Petrov, yeah.
Oh, everyone's. Yeah, I tell you, it's got a Friday night feel to it. I think the cans of beer have kind of been cracked open already.
Everybody's too relaxed, yeah.
Yeah. No one wants the effort. Oh God, do I have to calculate?
Yeah, too much effort, yeah.
Yeah, I'm afraid so.
Yeah.
I'm not even provoking any suggestion at all. My goodness. Come on, guys. Okay, Omkar says must be knight f7.
Of course it must be.
Okay, so we'll start with that one.
But then what?
Well, a lot of people are saying knight e. We've got Sumik and Flovin Tor Nugard Ness says knight e5.
What have you achieved by replacing your knight and then the king going back?
I think everyone's forgotten that, unfortunately, this is a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A bit inconvenient.
Mark Your Work says no beer, only water. Scatanesso says sack something.
Sack something. There you go. That's the spirit.
Yeah, that's good. Chess Shastra says something between knight f7 or rook e4 in some combination. Okay.
Good point.
Something's beginning to crystallize.
Yes.
Matthias
it might be the water.
Matthias Ruse says rook e4. Well done, Matthias. Scatanesto says, let me get the engine. 1 second. No!
Yeah, exactly.
Good stuff. Well, and Bernard T says rook takes e4. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, the point is d takes e4, bishop c4. It's devastating, yeah. And bishop d5, queen f5 wins the bishop on d5. Not that difficult, but still. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's nice. Yeah, and...
But Capablanca had to foresee what was played in the game as well, because rook e4, bishop c8 is a counterattack. This also had to be foreseen.
Okay, so now white to play. What happens next? The bishop attacks the queen. Flovin says nice. Yeah. It is very nice.
It is very nice. Yeah.
Well, it's always satisfying to crash through on the weak f7 square. If you're an e4 player,
certainly is, yeah.
We're getting a little bit of a delay again. White to play.
More water, please.
More water, yeah. I think maybe they need to loosen up a little bit. I'm going to have some tea. Cheers. What's your drink of choice at the moment? Water. Oh, vodka.
Sure, vodka. No, vodka. Vodka.
Okay, mine's definitely tea.
It's water. Yeah.
Okay, Saka says rook takes e7. Sumik says rook takes e7. Well done, guys.
Very
Excellent.
done. Yeah.
Rook e7. Okay, so what happens on rook e7? There's your supplementary question.
Yeah.
Vineyard Chess Africa says rook e7 with tempo. Vineyard Chess Africa, listen, that's a hell of a name. Where are you, Vineyard Chess Africa? Somewhere in Africa.
Presumably.
Sounds like a good part of Africa if there's a vineyard there. Maybe South Africa,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Maybe. Yeah.
Where are you, Vineyard Chess Africa?
You're
Okay, we've got 95 check suggested.
King's run away. King's gonna run away.
Scatanesto says, really enjoying this stream, guys. Hopefully Alex comes back on the channel. There we are.
Oh, great.
Alex,
Thank you, man.
That'd
Thanks.
be great.
Thank
Vineyard
you.
Chess Africa is in Uganda.
Uganda. All right.
Fantastic. Greetings to you, Vineyard Chess Africa. No one has got the move yet.
Well, the small hint is the weakness of the d5 square, but that's not that. So queen h5, yeah.
Oh, Vineyard Chess Africa, that's really nice. He says he follows the Power Play channel every time. Thank you for the content. You're most welcome.
Nice.
Andy Smith. Andy says F5, followed by F6. Well, okay, yeah. Queen moves and F6, of course. Listen, it looks completely crushing.
Looks nice.
Yeah. In fact, there's something immediate. Chess Shastra says, not obvious, too many good-looking options. Make it tough to calculate. It's true. I think
That's true. That's the main difficulty in similar positions. That's right.
Yeah. Jalil says Queen H5 check. Good. And now what, Jalil?
Correct. And now that d5.
Okay. All right. Listen, we'll play it out. Sumik says Bishop E7. Yeah, and there we go. That's the simplest way to finish off. And in the game, I'll just go through it. Queen takes was played.
But now simple chopping off and white remains up in the material.
Okay, 2 pieces for a rook, but yeah. Okay, everything absolutely stable, and you even have a pawn. Yeah. So winning position for white.
Yeah.
Very nice. Listen, we're running out of time. Let's look at one more position. Which Alex, where do you want to go
I mean, if you want a combination or an endgame, endgame normally takes more time. And if you want a combination, that one above Raubicek, that's another like a really great concept.
Oh, this is amazing! This game,
yeah.
So this was played in 1906. Was this another
18-year-old? Yeah, 18-year-old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we might have to talk this one through.
Yeah, sure.
Because we haven't Well, no. First of all, I want to ask everyone the first. I think that this concept is pretty incredible. So let's throw this one out. So white to play. What would you think of doing if you had white in this position? So Kappa is white here.
Yeah. Obviously 2 pawns down and trying to mate, but not so easy.
At the moment, there's no checkmate.
Nope.
Yeah. So what concept did Kappa come up with? I mean, what happened afterwards is quite involved. And there's lots of stuff going on. But I think Kappa understood what was necessary to do.
Yeah, exactly.
Gave himself the best chance. Omkar says, I think I've seen this one. It's some Zugzwang. I wouldn't say Zugzwang exactly.
Not quite, but
but
this is the famous one also. Yeah, this is the famous one. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Chess Shastra says getting rid of the defender. Nah, not exactly. Okay, I'm going to give everyone a big hint actually. This idea was famously employed by Kasparov in a couple of games against Karpov in a Spanish.
Yeah.
Different scenario, but
Yeah, 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 yeah.
somehow the concept has
And
some
also I
similarity.
think you can give a second hint, and
Go
I
on,
think
please.
I've heard it first from Yasser Seirawan, or maybe it was John Nunn. You can correct me. It's inviting everybody to the party.
Oh yeah. I
Yeah.
don't know. It's a Yasser phrase, but maybe John said it first. I can't remember.
I don't know.
Anyway,
Maybe
it's a
it's a
famous
Yasser.
one now. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Invite everyone to the party.
yeah.
Definitely.
So let's see if your viewers know that chess history,
Yeah.
to get the
Omkar
hints.
says, "Oh, h3 and king h2.
There you go. They got the
Well
hint.
done. Well
Well
done.
done.
Yeah,
Well done.
yeah. This is a great concept because basically black has counterplay. So let's just secure the king first.
And not only that, but
And yeah, as Omkar says, well, Alex, you talk through this one, please.
yeah, so basically Capablanca understood that he cannot break through with only the queen and the rook on the queen side. So he understood he needed to use the remaining rook in the attack. So he found this way to evacuate the king from the first rank and then use the rook to aid the attack. Hence the next move, rook c1. The point being that the rook cannot be taken because there is mate on a7. And it's also a very beautiful trap because you could say, okay, but just blundering that pawn on f2, right? Why give up another pawn? But that was what he was actually counting on. And
Okay,
black,
and let's see it.
yeah.
So
So
now,
black fell for the trap, took the pawn, but now it's amazing. The rook joins the attack, but not via the way you would expect, but going back to f1 now and using the fifth rank. So rook f1, another amazing move. Yeah.
we should just mention, of course, that if the rook is taken,
Yes,
then
then there is mate.
a7 is
Yes.
mate.
And now when the queen moves away, yeah, to d4, and then rook f5. And the same move would have happened if queen c5 also. Yeah. And now there is this beautiful threat of what happened in the game.
Okay, so let's leave our viewers to get this one.
Yeah.
So
So it's a
how
nice concluding
it's
combination.
beautiful. I mean, this really. I think this is a great one to finish on. Actually, it has real
Yeah, it's a very beautiful one. Yes.
sparkle. So white to play. How did Kappa finish the game?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is really special. Actually,
Yeah, it's very, very beautiful. Yes, yes, I agree.
okay. There's a little bit of a pause. White to play and win.
Yeah. Basically mate in 3, yeah.
Looks like it.
Yeah.
Saka says, "Wow, amazing."
Amazing, yeah. Yeah.
There we go. Chess Shastra has it. Well done. Omkar has it. Yeah, I know, he says. Great. Well done.
Yeah.
Well done, you two. Okay, so let's just show it.
Yeah.
And rook a5.
Yeah, amazing stuff, yeah.
Wow. And we end up with a checkmate with the lone rook.
Yeah. Yeah. This is just, yeah.
Fantastic. So there we go.
Yeah,
So Kappa wasn't just the endgame genius. He just had a feel for the right concept. And, you know, h3, I think it's a beautiful idea to take the king off the background.
Yes, definitely. Objectively, the game should have ended in a draw. I mean, if we are to be kind of objectively correct, yeah.
Let's
because
not go there.
like, yeah, okay, let's
let's leave it. You know, I don't want to spoil it. You know.
Yeah, sure.
Because I think black's moves were really plausible.
Yeah.
Okay, listen, I think we're going to wrap things up. So let me just mention again that Alex's book, Capablanca's Endgame Technique, is published by New in Chess. You can get it from New in Chess and Amazon and wherever. And also the Chessable course, Kappa's Endgame Technique, is obviously available on Chessable, as are Alex's many courses on Chessable. So listen, Alex, Thank you very much for joining me. And
Yeah,
well,
thanks.
we've got some requests for you to join the channel again. So hopefully,
Oh, thanks. I mean, okay, people, I mean, okay, I can mention it. I suppose that they can come to my channel as well, that I have a YouTube channel, not as big as Dan's, obviously, but just making my name a little bit there, where I normally use, like, I do some opening explorations. So, but I would be more than happy to join Dan again and I mean, just chat like this. I'm really enjoying these types of chess talks. Yeah.
fantastic. No, it would be great to have you back on the channel again. And well, there's lots coming up on the channel. Before we go any further, I need to mention this, folks.
Yeah. Well
This,
done. Congratulations on that one.
thank
Yeah.
you. So my new book, Kings, Anti-Sicilians for Black, will be published on Wednesday, and you can already pre-order it from New in Chess.
Yeah, new chess. Yeah, great,
Yeah.
great.
So there we
Yeah.
are. We're plugging New in Chess again. So
Yeah.
bear that one in mind, folks. That's coming soon as well.
Yeah.
And don't listen. They're going to hear enough about it on the channel. They're going to be sick of it soon. But listen, Alex, thank you very much for joining me.
Thank you,
And,
Daniel. Yeah, thank you. This was amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, well, good luck with the course and the book.
Thanks,
and
thanks.
yeah,
And
hopefully,
you too. You too.
hopefully
You
see
too
you
with the
soon.
book. Yeah.
Okay, see you.
Yeah. See
Bye,
you.
everyone.
Cheers.
Thanks everyone for joining us. And yeah, we'll see you soon. There are going to be more live broadcasts soon. Actually, it could be a live broadcast next Wednesday, but I'll let you all know about that anyway. And yes, Vineyard Chess Africa, a legit hardcover.
Yeah, hardcover.
Feel-
Yeah,
feel
I like
the
that with
quality.
new in chess. They make them look hardcover. Yeah,
Yeah, good
I like
quality.
that. Yeah, yes, good quality. Yeah, yeah.
Thanks everyone. Bye now.
Bye bye. Cheers, all.